What does it mean to traffic in social capital?
I think it means really to be human, to kind of be tapped into your humanity. You know, we all have abilities right off the bat. You know, someone might say, "I don't have any money." Like a guy on the street says, "I don't have any money." Well, you have abilities, you have knowledge, you have relationships, you have perspective. You know, I'll give you a great example. We had a local place called Austin Java was doing a remodel of their place, and so they had no parking. They were actually doing a big construction project, and so the founder started. He got a little taxi service, one of those little golf carts, and the guy whose job it was to ferry people back and forth from the parking lot to the place would just engage everyone. He had this great smile. He would tell stories. He would ask people questions. How are you doing? How's your day? He was using his social capital to create a much better experience. It created more conversations. It caused people to share things with him. You know, people go, well, you know, relationships. So it began to coalesce beyond something that was merely the job that he was doing.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest, so we all have this ability, but I think also have a mentality of scarcity. You know, we think, well, I've got that relationship. Well, you don't really have that relationship. It's just something that exists. You don't own it. And if you share it with the right people and you make more relationships, it'll actually create greater good, you know, for yourself and for others. So knowledge, people go, I want to hoard my knowledge. I've got this knowledge. I know this. I should keep it to myself. No, it turns out the more you give your knowledge away, the more you get back. You know, Einstein was one of the greatest collaborators. He would share his ideas with everyone, you know, and write to professors, and some of them would write, you know, when he was unknown, you know, he had actually not even gotten a professorship job. He was a third-class patent officer, but working on this question of, you know, how does light work? That was one of his core questions, and he would write people, you know, and share his ideas, and some of them would, and that exchange allowed him to eventually break through and discover relativity and all of those, you know, things. So I think social capital is something where really it's our natural thing, but we have this market capital that we have adopted and created, this medium of exchange. Exchange, I think, is also part of who we are as humans, but in the market capital, it's a particular kind of exchange. We've used this other thing called money as an arbiter of the exchange of value. I think one of the things that market capital does is it makes you very particular. You make coffee, I've got a latte, $3, here we go, done. It's very, you know, it's very quick and it's very particular because it's very specific. We already know what it is we're going for.
Right.
In social capital, you're coming with a very different orientation where you're open to the possibilities. Mm-hmm. You're talking to someone as a person. You're a person, you've got a life, you've got relationships, you've got things going on. How's it going? And all of a sudden, this piece over here relates to the topic of conversation. This piece over here, this person should, right? These are the places where that opening of the lens is what social capital does. It makes the lens wide angle. From that wide angle comes pieces of the puzzle that then translate into something really interesting. So because market capital is narrow, as it should be, and social capital is wide, I've never sort of articulated it that way, but that's really what's causing the dynamic that creates innovation from social capital, from communities. And you always see this, that's where it really starts.